How's it going, everybody? Daner here with North Central Coins, and welcome back to another episode of the most rare and valuable coins in Canada. Today we're going to be discussing two Canadian coins from the year 1947, which, if you didn't know, are probably some of the most valuable and sought after Canadian coin varieties still in circulation today. Because these coins have so many different variations and were produced after World War II, there is a possibility that some of these incredibly rare pieces still remain in circulation. These are a few that you actually have a decent chance of finding if you check your pocket change regularly, deal with cash transactions, or if you are a coin roll hunter. In this video, we will explore the historical context surrounding the production of these rare and valuable coins and delve into why they hold such importance in Canadian numismatic history. Additionally, we will discuss its distinguishing and identifying features, significance among collectors, and also its potential value if you were ever to find a legitimate example. Before I do get into this, I would really appreciate if you guys would smash that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and also hit that bell notification so you can stay up to date with my new content. Also, make sure to stay to the end of the video if you guys would like to find out how much you can get for your 1947 dot coins if you are curious. And then without further ado, what do you say we get right into it and discuss the history and values of the 1947 dot nickel and quarter. Let's get it, guys. So to start this off, we need to begin with quite the mouthful, which is Georgius VI Gracia Rex ET India Imperator. Yes, quite the tongue twister, right? Well, this translates to George VI, by the grace of God, King and Emperor of India. Quite the royal title, if I do say so myself. But hold on to your top hats because this phrase had to go. Why is that, you ask? Well, in the year 1947, India said cheerio to British rule and gained its independence, becoming the Dominion of India and also the Dominion of Pakistan. During this time, the once mighty British Empire was experiencing a rapid transformation as its colonies sought self-governance and independence. The departure of India from British rule marked a significant turning point in history, symbolizing the end of an era for the empire. Coins were still a necessity though. They decided to produce 1947 dated coins while waiting for the new tools and matrices from the Royal Mint. But here's the twist. They actually added a small maple leaf next to the date to signify that these coins were actually minted in 1948. Very sneaky, eh? A numismatic nod to the changing times. Now, there are very few coins in the world like the Canadian 1947 dated coins that have nearly as many varieties. Now let's talk about the silver dollars. The silver dollars come in two different varieties, the blunt 7 and pointed 7 for the silver dollars, and several other errors or varieties you can look for. And then there are the 1947 1-cent coins or pennies. These exist in two different varieties, the blunt 7 and pointed 7. The blunt 7 is the scarcer of the two in the world of numismatics. Scarcity means value. It's like finding the golden ticket in a sea of regular chocolate bars. Now, the Canadian half dollar does not want to be left out of this 7 party. It also has several different varieties for the 7, the curved left 7 and the curved right 7. These variations in the design of the 7 on these coins may seem insignificant to some, but for collectors, they can make all the difference in determining the value and rarity of a particular coin. The hunt for these unique 7 varieties add an extra layer of excitement and challenge to the world of Canadian coin collecting. Now let's fast forward just a little bit into the year 1948, when the new tools and matrices from London finally arrived and the Maple Leaf coin's reign came to an end. The new inscription, George VI Gracia Rex, which stands for King George VI by the grace of God King, took center stage on the obverse of the coin. This is a clear example of how all coins are not created equal. The silver $1 and 50-cent coins from 1948 became unicorns of their time. Why, you ask? Well, those change tools and matrices from London took their sweet time to arrive, and production started fashionably late. It's like waiting for your favorite artist to drop a new album. The anticipation is real. When the coins finally hit circulation, collectors and enthusiasts eagerly sought them out, creating a frenzy in their numismatic community. The scarcity and unique design of these coins made them highly coveted, adding to their allure and value. And finally, we have the piece de resistance of the 1947 series, and those are the small dot varieties. In a sea of maple leaves on some 1947 Canadian nickels and quarters, there it is. A tiny dot, like a period at the end of a numismatic sentence. The cause? Well, it's a bit like a coin's freckle. Nobody knows for sure. Some say it's dye chips, others blame dye deterioration. Either way, it's a quirky and rare minting error that makes collectors' hearts skip a beat. The small dot variety on 1947 Canadian nickels and quarters is a unique minting error that adds an extra layer of intrigue for collectors. Its mysterious cause, resembling a freckle on the coin, only enhances its desirability. This rare and quirky feature truly captivates the hearts of numismatic enthusiasts all over the world. Now, what do you say we get into the specifications and values for the 1947 dot coins, starting with the nickels? The 1947 plain date 5-cent coin has a mintage figure of 7,603,724. The 1947 maple leaf has a mintage of 9,595,124, and the mintage figure for the 1947 5-cent piece is unknown. Some of the specifications for this coin: it is composed of 100% nickel, has a weight of 4.54 grams, it has a diameter of 21.3 millimeters on one side and 20.87 millimeters on the opposite side. The designer and engravers for the coin are T.H. Paget and Thomas Shingles for the obverse, and Thomas Shingles and G.E. Kruger Gray for the reverse. The edge of the coin is smooth, it is magnetic, and it has a diaxis in metal alignment, as is the standard for most Canadian coins. In terms of value, the 1947 dot nickel actually does carry a premium at the low end. You can expect to get anywhere from $5 to $15 if you have one that is absolutely beat up at the bottom of the Sheldon scale, so that would be considered an AG3. When you get up to the VG8 territory, it is worth around $27.80, and it can be worth all the way up to $165 for an AU50 example. When you start to get into the MS territory, it can be worth around $270 for an MS60. It can be worth $455 for an MS63, and all the way up to $2,850 for an MS66, which is currently the highest graded known example. If you were to find one and it scored a little bit higher, so we are talking MS67, you could easily be talking a $4,000 or $5,000 coin. Now let's get into the 1947 dot 25-cent coin. The mintage figure for the 1947 plain date 25 cent is 1,524,554. The 1947 maple leaf mintage is 4,393,938, and the mintage figure for the 1947 dot quarter is unknown, just like the nickel. The specifications for the Canadian 1947 quarters: it is composed of 80% silver, 20% copper, has a weight of 5.83 grams, a diameter of 23.62 millimeters. It was engraved and designed by T.H. Paget for the obverse and Emmanuel Hahn for the reverse. It has a reeded edge, is non-magnetic, and has a diaxis in metal alignment, as is the standard for most Canadian coins. So let's discuss the values for the 1947 dot quarters. This can also have a premium on the low end. It could be worth probably anywhere from $25 to $40 for an AG3, so that is at the absolute bottom of the Sheldon scale. It can be worth around $67.60 for a VG8. It can be worth $394 for an AU50. Now, as we start to get into the MS territory, we start to see some massive price jumps. It can be worth around $624 for an MS60, $1,200 for an MS63, and $4,590 for an MS65, which is currently the highest graded known example. If you were to find one of the 1947 dot quarters and it did score any higher, then you could be sure to see some massive price jumps. We could easily be talking a $15,000 to $20,000 coin if it hit the MS67 mark. Now, once again, to identify these coins, basically, you want to look to the bottom right-hand side of the 7 in the date 1947, and if there is a small dot in place of the maple leaf, then you have one of these dot coins. You have to be very thorough, because the maple leaf, if it is worn down or faded, can appear like the dot. So you definitely want to get a microscope and check it under there, or at least zoom in very close with your phone. And then you want to get a second opinion before you actually do show it to anyone or try to sell it, because chances are it is probably a 1947 maple leaf, but these things are out there and you do want to know how to identify them and what to look for. What do you guys think about these 1947 dot coins? What would you do if you ever found a legitimate example, or if you ever have found any of the coins discussed in this video or any that are similar? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to know. I would also really appreciate if you guys would hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and also hit that bell notification so you can stay up to date with my new content as it is being released. But I think that is pretty much going to do it for this one, folks. So thank you all so much for watching. But until the next one, everybody, peace out and have a good one, y'all.